Okay, the goal today is fixing this thumb. Here's my new one hanging off it, but my old one decided to snap right off yesterday. I bought this hydraulic one a while ago. It's time to go on. The tools for this job. I've got my oxyacetylene torch here. That's going to cut the old thumb off. It's a Miller AEAD 200 LE. And you know what, I've had this for a few years now, but the reason I bought it was I recognized it from Andrew Camerata's building a bridge video. I'll throw a link in the description to that one, but he's got the same welder. They just do an awesome job. It's old, it runs good. I haven't run this thing in a few months, so hopefully it fires up for me, but it usually flashes up no problem and welds good, and that's going to allow us to weld this great big thick. There's my pinky, so we're talking 1/2 inch material. That's got to weld this guy onto there. Look at that. That's why we use acetylene torches. That is thick. That is like 1.25 inches thick. And this thing blasts right through it. In real time, it's fast. This thing's hot and it's ugly, but to get stuff off, you can't beat a torch. One dilemma here. That pin is swollen on the end big time from beating it in, I would imagine, over the years. So I either need to take this pin out, which I don't want to do because then I lose the bucket, and this stuff's heavy and I'm working by myself and that's a pain. So I think what I'm going to do is just cut that pin off. I'll try with the torch. Hopefully it's not too terribly ugly. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try a zip disc first just to see, because I don't want to make a mess of it and make it harder than it needs to be. I want to save these ears the best possible, so. Howdy.
Little project going on?
Yeah, I broke my thumb off.
Oh,
so I bought a hydraulic one a while ago. It's time to go on.
Oh, so how did you use that one without hydraulic?
This one came down to here, and then there was just a big bar from here.
Oh, so you just
that's it there.
You just squeezed up against
Yeah,
it.
it just stayed.
Right on.
Yeah, you get used to them like that. It's fine. But.
So where are you gonna run the hydraulic?
Well, this has a goofy cylinder on the top, so that it side booms.
Yeah.
I don't ever use that, so I'm gonna cap that off, run the lines down here, and I got a foot pedal for it.
Yeah, it's not very often. The little machines are good for that when you're right up against a building or something, right?
Yeah. When I first got this, I did a couple foundations and stuff where you got to get right up against buildings and shit. It makes it way better.
Yeah.
But I just don't take those jobs anymore.
Do the bigger stuff.
Exactly. Well, you know, I don't even really run this anymore for anyone. I just drive my dump truck around.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You stay pretty busy?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys gotta have toys, right?
I have no clue what's bubbling out of the side of this, but there's sure something. I don't see anything in the cut. Something's getting hot.
That's so close. I bet I can break it up. Oh well. Not quite. It's just held on by the tip.
Wow. Alright, and that's what hardened steel looks like when it's broken. And there's a piece. It's gonna be warm, I bet. Yep. Isn't that cool? Okay. Now I got to get that end up top. So let's reposition this excavator, and I got my bobcat out ready to help. This excavator is great. I can curl it right up on itself, make it so small. Now I can flip that thumb with the bobcat and set it right on here. But first, let's cut that off. Alright, good idea when you're grinding earplugs. Earplugs out, I can hear again. That wasn't too bad. I just gotta clean this up. Clean that up, set it on, tack it in place, and see where we go. I guess that's why I videotape everything. So close, so far. Oh, it's heavy. I don't want to do this and hurt myself. A bit of wet sand there. Alrighty, so here we go with the welder. That feeds fuel up there to the carb, and then on the front, so this is where the gas goes in. Oh, that's gas. I wouldn't be surprised if that's leaking, but that should be okay for now. Put that to the middle position. There's our choke. It's even got an oil pressure gauge, so we can keep an eye on that as it turns over. So we got the jumper cables hooked up. We got the jumper cables hooked up here, and let's see if she works. That's just loose cables.
Try 2. There we go, guys. Oil pressure, and I checked the oil. I checked the oil before we started it. There we go, let it warm up. I checked the oil before I started it. There's lots of it. I just changed it last time I used it, so it's all good. There she goes. Twin cylinder, Miller AEAD 200LE. And like I said, it's an Tackling 3 brand.